let's do the promos. My eyelashes try to kill me. It's a preemptive strike. Alright. Another live stream. Royal Crown Code, hey, what's up, my dude? Thanks for coming to the stream. Excuse me. We are going to get started pretty soon. I'm going to sip on my coffee for a minute and let some people trickle in. And then we're going to be stretching sprites today. Sugar Zuzu, hello. Loxon, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Heartless Angel, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Yes, I am enjoying that coffee. Thanks for joining me and enjoying me. Okay. We finished the map. Look it, Heartless. Look it. I did it. I did it. I did the thing. For the most part. Let's walk around on it in game. Konnichiwa! Jacob. Thanks for joining me. Good morning, System ID. So here's our map now. We've got a hidden chest over here. You can barely see it, sticking out. If you walk around, we've got like this little underpass, which is cool. But you can get the chest. Bring! Level 1 keystone. Path of the stream, thanks for joining. Draconis, good morning, my sir. This kind of looks a little wonky right here. I noticed some problems with this spot when you zoom in all the way. So let's fix that. These little corners, they're not done. And then these look kind of iffy. So let's fix that real quick. We're going to be stretching out sprites today. I don't really like that one. Let's undo. Let's pick from this one instead. That looks better. And then, is it over here in this corner? I think this corner used these. Yeah, that looks better. I'm sure I'm going to notice the corners for a long time to come before they actually get right. But for the most part, I'm happy with this little map. It came together, the before and after. Have I considered 8 directional movement? I don't want to do that. Heartless says, today I added something very cool to my game. Custom sound effects to break barrels, pots and crates, and get some loot. And cracked walls and secrets. Awesome. Very nice. So you can walk around in the game on the maps and destroy the loot stuff with the sword and magic attacks. It's really cool. Everything is nice and rounded now. Maybe add an 8 directional movement would feel better walking around. Yeah, I don't like 8 directional movement. It's not necessary. Nothing against it. It's great if you want to use it. We have plenty of maps to remake. You can see this one is just very bad looking. I mean, the outside is okay, but then we've got these not good walls. So we could do that first, but yeah, let's do that first because it's irking me now. Let's try to fix that. Let's go right here. Go like this and put a wall in here. Box map. Yeah, it should be pretty quick. Hopefully. Let's go with here. It's gonna basically go down to this. I have to redo the sides. Okay. So I was using something different, apparently. That's fine. I was still trying to figure out how to map for this part. I think that'll be an everyday thing, trying to figure out how to map. I don't like how the shadows are right there, so we'll get rid of that. And for the bottom, we need to get rid of this bottom layer, like this, and put in this, and this, and this. Or actually this, like so. Get rid of these, and put in these. That way we don't get blocked by the ceiling. That should be better. Okay, back to adding this pillar. Let's put it up here instead, right there. That way we'll be doing the walls right here. No, what am I pressing? This one, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again, let's get rid of the shadows up here. Some of them are unnecessary, like right there. That's a whole nother ball game too, when we start putting shadows where we want them to be. I need something more upbeat. This music is going to put me to sleep. I need to wake up, not go to sleep. Seiken Densetsu 3, Songs of Light and Darkness CD, brought to you by ocremix.org. Go there to listen to some really cool fan-made remixes, and you can use them in your live streams and your podcasts, as long as you're not just playing them. If you're talking over them, you can still put ads in your videos and whatnot. Really, really good music coming from ocremix.org. You just need to, give them credit. But let's find something a little more upbeat here, Shall we? It's a lot of soft, chill music, and I like that, but I do need something to get me going. Something to amp me up today, you know what I'm saying? I need a little bit of something. Yes, something like this. There we go.
Hey baby, how's it going?
Alright, so that wall looks way better. Let me go into game and see how it looks. Some battle music or something. Get the maps finished. Get the maps done. Do some sprite stretching. Hey, that looks fine. I like it. Looks good. It will work. It shall suffice. But we need to do some round corners on that. Let's put the roundness to it. It needs to be down with the roundness. Get up, get down with the roundness. Yes, just like that. I like it. Yeah, yeah. And we'll take this roundness, put it like that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We're just waking up here. I do live most days. Let's get rid of this little ceiling thing. I don't know. Pretty bad, pretty bad. We'll redesign it. We're going to do the redesigning of the thing here. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. I think I've got this backwards here. Yes. More like this. Ding, 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 ding. Because there's got to be a wall coming from that direction, right? What is my brain telling me to do? Too wide, yeah, not T-O-O, but T-W-O, wide walls need to be a thing right here. Right, so I will need a top layer here. Like that. And this will be kind of like, maybe like this. Which can then go. Come on, brain. Do you know how to draw walls? Do you know what you're doing? Only you can prevent forest fires. Yes, yes. You know what was confusing me is having these events here. Just get out of the way, events. You're going to be moved. Yes, it's much better. So this can hook up a little bit. This will go like that. Top layer. That will be fine. I feel like this needs to go down even lower, doesn't it? Let's try taking this entire section here and drawing it like this. Yeah, okay. I needed more space. That's what it was. I'll have to make a little more room right here as well, which is fine. Full-time vampire? Donate now to Drifty's Patreon to support Smokey the Box Map Bear's endeavor. I like it, Path of the Stream, I like it. We go out to our kitchen. Yes, we do, every night. We cook together. It's a lot more fun than cooking alone. It's great. It's great. So this will have to be like this. We could do a curvy thing right there. I feel like this one needs to be that. Yeah, it looks better. But that one needs to be this curvy angle bracket, doesn't it? Let's zoom in. Or does it look better with the smaller one? Nope, the first one. I wonder if people will even like notice the details. Some people will. Sure, some people will. This might need to be not curvy. Yeah, because it's going into the wall here. There it is. Hey, we fixed it, sort of. Let's put something there. We'll find corners that are missing, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Kitchen time with Drifty and T. Mm-hmm. Nice. Brent Phoenix, what's up, my dude? Thanks for joining. You say this, but I haven't seen a Cooking with Drifty and T in months. What does that mean in German, Heartless? Leib geg den Magen. I hope I didn't say anything offensive. Tiki masala is so good. Love goes through the stomach? Yep. I think so. Not everyone's married. Path of the Stream. Shoot, until a few weeks ago, I wasn't married. 34 years. My first marriage. Man, this song is some heavy metal. It's better to wait. I read a statistic the other day that says millennials are making the divorce rate go down because they're waiting. They are waiting. And that's probably much better. Oh look, candy. Let me know if the music's too loud, guys. It should be okay right now. But some songs are louder than the others, so. Alright, it's time to walk around the map and see how it looks. You see this, the size of the sprite on the inside and the size of the sprite walking around? We're going to resize all of the sprites to be the size of the sprite walking around. It still has a kind of big head chibi design, but it's stretched out more, so it's not actually chibi anymore. Chibi would be, you know, more squished. And it at least shows some effort has gone into making it look different. So because of the way I'm making the walls now where you can walk on the bottom layer of them, most of the ways that I'm handling people that get into fights, they're not going to be a thing. Like, they're going to be skippable. And I don't know if I should force the player to get into fights, actually. You don't hear this song? Oh, you realize you were a minute behind on the stream? So it seems like this map is okay now. It almost looks like you can kind of get through the bars here, but it's not quite right, so. I mean, it works, that works fine. Let's hit the switch and see. I don't think there'll be a problem. Nothing changed event-wise, just. This corner looks weird right here, to me. What if I switch it to this one instead? This little niche. This one as well looks kind of weird. That's the one it was, so let's try this bigger one. These two corners as well. That. And now he's free! Free at last! Free at last! We unlocked our crafting system. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with this map now. This map is done for now. Oh no, it's not. We gotta put lighting in here, don't we? Let's get some Tarax lighting in here. I knew it was missing something. I'm like, it's not just the corners. There's something else. Let's put a torch here. Torch here. Some torch there. And then one torch there. Might be dark in this corner. We'll put something there. I actually want these to be 200. I don't know why it copied the 250 one. I thought I changed them all. Apparently I missed one, and the one I missed is the one that I propagated. Because, you know, odds. Okay, where did I copy this one from? The basement? These should all be 200. 200. There it is, 200. What about here? 200, 200, 200, Dulcian, Ni, that's 2, 2, 2. Okay, they're all good. It was just the one. It was just the one torch. And then I copied the one torch that was the wrong size. Drifty, let me be honest, the stretch sprites are kind of meh. Really? Really? I think the small chibi sprites are kind of meh. That's the thing. And if I'm going to be stuck with kind of meh either way, I'd rather have something that's different than everybody else's meh. It gives you the illusion that you're zoomed in more. Which you're not. I kind of like that feel a little bit better. And the reason why it looks meh is because I think there's not like they're not all universal yet. Like you see one that's smaller and one that's stretched out, you can see that there's stretched. But if they're all stretched in a specific way, then you have like conformity throughout the project and consistency, and it will be less of a noticeable thing, I guess. Are you mass resizing every single sprite? And if so, how long do you think it'll take? Yes, and not very long at all, because I haven't done a lot of eventing and stuff yet, so it should be pretty easy to re-reference them. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do it in Photoshop or GIMP or Sprite. I'm going to do it with Yanfly's Scale Sprite plugin. So it should be easy as copy, paste, rename, 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 go into the database, change all the characters that it's using, any events that resize the character, change those. Yeah, you know, it shouldn't be that hard. The tiny chibi sprite versus the stretch one, yeah, when you see them in comparison, it looks very weird, and I agree. That's why we're going to do them all. 15? Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen people play it. Boy Band Simulator. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's got some potential. Uniformity in meh. At least my meh is different from your meh, right? Different is always good. Okay, let's get to it now. I'm okay with this map. There's plenty of maps we have to redo. And lighting. How was the lighting in here? Did the lighting... We gotta move torches? I'm sure I can check this out. Like, when I run by, I'm like, hey, this spot is blah, blah, blah. You're gonna come in from here. And I don't like how this is sort of weird looking in this top part. What can I do about that? Can I just... paint this over here like that? Yes, I can, and that makes it look different. Then I go to B and put a door here, like so. That looks better. It doesn't look so like straight line cut off. You've got like some curvy stuff at the bottom. Okay. It still works. That's fine. Let's save the project and start moving these sprites over to larger file size. So I'm going to game, open folder, IMG, characters, and I'm going to take everything that's currently in the game and give it a resize. So this will be a little monotonous. I could write a Python script to do this, but it would take me longer probably, because I don't have that many. Why don't I just do this to most of them? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is copy 48 by 72. I've decided this is the resolution that I'm gonna use for now until I change my mind next month and resize everything. We'll see what happens. And I'm gonna hit it. Wait, I'll have to copy the sprites as well too, right? So let me just do this. Copy, paste, F2 on the copy one. 48 by 72. You just need a space and then the bracket. Is there a space there? Now there is. I'm keeping the original. Copy, paste. In case I change my mind, it's as easy as deleting all the things that I've copied instead of renaming again. 48 by 72. 48 by 22, that would be something. That would be something. by 72. Is there a space? It's going to get faster. It's like a muscle memory thing. Space, 48 by 72. Does it remove the space when it does that? Why does it remove the space? It doesn't make sense to me. It's not removing the space, is it? It's actually a space there, because if it wasn't, it would be like that. Okay. So there's two spaces in some of these. That's fine. Copy this. Did I not paste that? Copy, paste. Get rid of the name copy and all of that, like so. Okay. Copy, paste. F2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 48 by 72. Okay. Renaming sprites, did someone say monotonous? But this is how the plugin works, so. You can use Python for MV and not JavaScript? No, you have to use JavaScript for MV, but you can write a Python program to rename all of the images in a folder, like a Windows operation. This isn't really anything specifically inside the engine. This is all outside of the engine, so you can use whatever language you want, actually. Darn it, I keep forgetting to copy them first. Copy, paste, rename. Luckily, there's not a lot of sprites yet. I haven't put in a lot of sprites. I wonder if you can scale battle sprites. That would be awesome. 48 by 72. Anybody know if you can do that besides just stretching them in Photoshop? Yeah. Welcome to game dev. Monotonous tasks. Sprinkled in. You'll have moments of sprinkled creativity followed by lots of repetitious work. And if you work for somebody else, and you work in somebody else's studio, guess what they're offloading all... Guess what kind of work that they're going to offload onto you. That's right. I actually don't need to resize these. I'm just doing it to see how it looks. This would actually look very dumb, but it's only 2.5 kilobytes, so I'm going to leave that. It's a circle, so you stretch a circle out disproportionately, it's going to look more like an oval. I don't think that's what we're really going for. But with the doors, no, that's a different subject. The doors, you may want that. So let me first copy it, paste it. F2, 48 by 72. Copy, paste it. 48 by 72. And this won't work if you're drawing them with the tile set, but it'll work if you draw them as an event. So that should be a thing. So they aren't oval, elongated skulls. Amazing. All the men belong to us. Akin to police work. 5% arrests are exciting stuff, 95% routine paperwork. Let's copy paste this one as well. This is something I wasn't sure how it was going to work. The Panda Maru one with the blacksmith. Really not sure how this is going to look stretched. But it won't hurt to check it out. Oops. There it is. Chess, nope. These doors, I'll try to copy these doors. Copy, paste. By 72. These will look really weird, I know, but I'm gonna try it just to have them in there. 48 by 72. Once again, I'll have to make all these evented, not drawn with the tile set, but that's fine. Others, they can be left alone. All of the doors I'm gonna resize for posterity. It's not like I'm overwriting the original, so I don't have to use the resized sprites for everything that I'm making, but I want to have them available in the project. It's better I do this at the beginning of the project, really, than towards the end. I'm not saying this is the beginning, but it's better to do these tasks towards the very beginning. I think we're still closer to the beginning than the end of this. So much to do, and the deeper you go, the more you realize you have to do. Switches are going to stay the same. The blacksmith guy, we're definitely going to need to get a stretched, larger version of him. Home stretch, almost done. Just got to get our random generated ones up to scratch. 48 by 72. Yes, these are all set up. Edmund already has multiple sizes. Eric Sanders, bang. If you want to be a character in the game, I could do some character creating right now. 48 by 72. While I'm doing the resizing of things. I don't need this hyphen, huh? The chest can stay the same. We're going to take Indra's doors and make them stretched out too, just to see. Whoa. 48 by 72. Kitchen chef. The sushi chef. Yes. GD. K-Mix Dash. These are all people who have made suggestions early on in the game and requested to be characters in the game, so I made them characters. They're not all placed in the game, but they're in, you can see they're here. 48 by 72. They're going to make cameo appearances or large roles. We'll see. Naz. Gotta add Naz. He is a good mod. On the Discord server, links in the description below if you want to join on the Discord server. Lots of stuff there. Lots of talented individuals. It really only is what it is because of the talented people like yourself. Thank you for joining the stream. And if you have a project, you could always work on your project while I'm working on mine. Get some progress done. Cool, let's stretch out the vehicles too, because why not? Let's try it out. Sometimes inspiration is the best part of this sort of thing. I watched while I was working on the project after the live stream, I watched Wheaton's Let's Play of my first MV project. He did a good job. You should go show him some love. Show Wheaton some love. He played through my game 3 hours and 40 minutes. He got to the end and there were a couple of bugs. And one of the bugs crashed him. But he had just saved, so he was probably done anyway. So, I mean, credit to Wheaton. And thanks for playing the game. I liked your video. I subbed to your channel. Alright, so we've resized the sprites. But we still haven't changed the references in-game to use the bigger sized sprites. Like for here, Devin Scott, we're going to say instead of use the regular size, use the stretched out version. And going to probably methodically go through all of the maps. I'll start at the top and check every event that may have a sprite that needs to be resized and change what it's looking for. I do have some doodads that will need some special tweaking to get just right. So this is the blacksmith, right? We're going to make the 48 by 72 version of it. Here is another one. Let's go with the 48 by 72. This is going to look really weird here. I just hope I don't have to move around the animation too much. I probably will. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting a few hiccups with this. Not a big deal, but... Here we go. This is the kitchen sushi chef. You're the tall guy now when he gets hired. And this is the kitchen chef. He's going to be the tall one now. What else? Let's move to the next map. These things are going to be taken out and replaced with something else. More of an opaque, kind of like combat cloud. The blacksmith here, when he pops out, he needs to be this one. Yes, sir. Player's house, there's nothing here yet. Just doodads. Tinkers, we just changed that one. And then these, we haven't put anything in, right? These are just placeholders for now, which is great. Wait, I have another map. This is the elements test map that I put together. For some reason, my start menu bar doesn't want to minimize sometimes. I don't understand. Maybe it's a Windows bug. That should be all of them. Let's jump into the beginning of the game. One more thing, because there's an event that changes the player's size when we enter the town. So let's look for the controller event inside the town. Is it this one? Yes, change actor images. Let's edit this one. So we enter here, we're changing Edmund's actor image to be the regular one, but instead of that, we're going to change it to be the stretched out one, 48 by 72. Because the world map is going to change the image to be the small one right here, 16 by 24, which is not exactly the same proportion, but it looks good and it matches the way I want it to be. Is it 32 by 48 and then 48, add. It's 50%. No, it is. It's actually proportionate. 16 by 24 is proportionate to 48 by 72. Because if we multiply by 3, right, 16 times 3, there's 48. And the same thing happens 24 times 3, 72. So it's proportionate to the map size that I'm already settled on. So that's great. And if we start the player on the world map, then we need to change the database. We'll start him here so that the player starts with the 16 by 24. However, if we start on a different map, then we change the database to be... Did I hit the microphone?
Sorry about that, guys.
What's going on over here? What am I missing? Am I getting trolled? Let's jump in the game and move around a little bit. See the sprite size. Silver Starlight, thanks for joining the stream. Philip Williams, hello. Hello. So we walk around here, and we are a taller sprite. We need to get the sushi bar set up, and the kitchen as well. Yeah, I don't know if it works with battlers, Draconis, that's what I'm worried about. So this is something we're drawing with a doodad, right? So I'll need to edit this doodad around. We'll have to stretch this image manually. So I showed how to do this with the Scale Sprite plugin by renaming the files, but this is a doodad, so we'll edit this image and the placement in Photoshop. We'll stretch it out, we'll place it in the doodads folder, and then we'll recall it as a stretched out version and change the placement. So we can fix that as well. I'm going to need to get logs and wood to get these two to check them. Go in here. Missed that event at the top too. We're gonna have to battle one fight. I need to move this event for now. Did I change the battle background? I did. Should be easy fight. I'm wondering if I should put in Sound Cypher's speed up script. It hasn't had any problems with any other plugins. Yeah, Jacob, I mean, I could spend forever making all the sprites in the game, but there's going to be so many sprites that I don't want to redraw them all. What that's going to do is kill my project. You know, I don't have that art skill and time to do that in a timely manner. So the Scale Sprites plugin is my way to get away from the default chibi. Is it perfect spriting? No. But is it different than other people's project? Yes. And that's kind of what I'm going for. And it's going to be very quick to make it conform in like uniform. See, he looks a lot... It doesn't look as weird when they're both stretched out. If you really zoom into like Final Fantasy VI sprites, they're about this size. And they're very pixelated, but they're done so well that like it leaves it up to your imagination to draw in what isn't immediately there. The only thing that I would like to get away from is the big head size, right? Reduce their head size, go in and make their head smaller. That's a lot of work for, especially I'm putting people in the game. I'm going to just auto-generate those sprites to 48 by 48, use Scanfly Scale Sprite plugin to make them 48 by 72, and bada bing, you know, you've got a different sprite size that functions correctly, and it didn't take forever to do that, and you can do that on a mass scale. We've been collecting some money. We got our Tinker's menu. I got to see how the house looks with the big sprite too. Going back into the town now. It doesn't work with the battlers. Thanks for testing that, Draconis. Yeah, the big head bothers me too. It's just something that kind of accepting at this point. I like the fade out, like you go in, the character fades in. This was an idea given to me by Olivia. We don't need to buy the trees, but we do need to buy some things on the map. And here he is, the big dude walking around. We're, you know, approximately the same size. Doesn't look as bad because they're the same size. You could put on smoothing too. Like the pixelation is something I decided to embrace rather than... because I think it looks funnier with smoothing. House size still looks okay. I mean, it's kind of like a little hut, really. But that'll work. So let's go and buy stuff from this merchant. We have to resize the merchant manually, which is fine, because we're doing this with a doodad. Not a big deal. We're going to need, what, I think 20 stones. And 20... wooden logs. Royal Crown Code, that's awesome, dude. I would love to hear it. And that TIF file you sent me works. I'm using that to make different templates. Or I'm using that as the template to make different thumbnails. So I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, see, there's still problems with layering. What I need to do is lower this layer a little bit. You see how, look at the bowl of food. It's like I'm walking between it. It looks so funny. I gotta fix that. But see, the sprite size works better in these booths. It looks more realistic than a little chibi behind the counter. I really like it. It could be better if I manually did it, but I don't have the time for that, really. So I'm very happy with that for now. If we go to the world, it puts us the mini sprite, and it's proportionate, actually. It's, you know, same. Maybe somebody knows how to get away from the world map when you rescale the sprites like this. Instead of drawing like the half-transparent one, it just disappears into the woods. You see how the sprite disappears in the woods? Does anybody know how to fix that? Like, do I just... I mean, I could edit the sprites and put a quick layer and opacity the bottom half so that it looks like the bottom half of the sprite is see-through, you know, or partially invisible, like it normally does. But anyway, not a big deal. It still works, you know, you're a little guy and you were to take an aerial view of someone walking through a forest, you're not going to see them over the trees, you know, you're going to just see the trees, so makes sense, kind of. You need to make the game resolution higher. Oh no, I'm not talking about the black bars. Yeah, I know, it has to be 16:9 aspect ratio to get rid of the black bars if you're looking at it on a 16:9 resolution screen. But I'm almost 16 by 9, very close to 16 by 9. The game's resolution. Is my character going to starve? Probably. Let's make him not starve. The resolution that I'm using, oops, plugin, right here, 1104 by 624. And this is a good resolution because it runs a little bit faster. When you go across the screen really quick, sometimes you get screen tearing if there's a lot of stuff drawn on the map. At this resolution, it happens a lot less frequently, is what I've noticed. And it's still very close to 16 by 9. See, I can run across the map, and I don't get this screen tearing. Like, I don't know how to describe it really besides screen tearing. It's like the top half will will draw before the bottom half catches up to it. So it's like, instead of the whole screen going like that, it's like, dot, 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 dot. If there's a lot on the screen. And that doesn't really quite happen with this slightly smaller resolution. So I'm a fan of that. It's not scaling the invisible thing, yeah. Okay, let me fix this layering issue while I'm still having it in my thought process. Edit the doodads. Let's change the soup doodad. Go with a same as characters, maybe. Maybe I change... If I change the doodad of the layer on the stands, the stalls themselves, I don't want them to appear behind the characters. So let's see what this does. Let's see if I just change this to 5. Will that fix it? Return, finish edits, save and close. No, because it's drawing just like that. Okay, so let's try to edit the stalls themselves and change those to 4 underlayer. But then the sprites draw on top of them, don't they? They're like standing, come to my shop! Standing on their counter. Cheap food here! Employ me! That's not the kind of thing I'm going for. That's why I went with the, like that. Okay. I may have to just ditch the soup thing then. What can I do to this? Is it because it's drawing it first, and then it's drawing something else on the same layer, so it's drawing, because it's drawn after on the same layer, it's overriding it? What if I put them on the same layer, because they need to be in front of the people but behind the player, right? Yes. So they would have to be on 4 for that to happen, wouldn't it? Or 5, same as. And then the game has a built-in depth system. If it's closer to the screen, then it's going to be higher depth by 1 layer. So if they're both on 5, but the soup is drawn after the stall, that might work. So what if I delete the soup, right? I'm going to get rid of this doodad, and then I'm going to place a new doodad later on at the end, right? Later on being right now. Finish the edit, save and close, but then I place a new soup doodad. I wish I knew where it was at. Food. There we go. Let's go with fish, because it's kind of a sushi thing, right? So let's put let's go plus, minus. Nope, 5 is still going to be like that, because it's starting, I get it. It's not when it was placed, it was like the X and Y location. If it's got a greater Y, then it'll be in front. If it's got a lesser Y, because as you subtract from Y, it goes up. Wait, you add from Y, it goes down. Yeah, that's right. You know what I could do? There's a way to fix this, to get this to do what I want it to do, but I have to edit it, adding some space to the bottom of it, so that it artificially inflates its Y position, now that we know how it works. So let's take an image, go into Photoshop. I'm going to open up an image in Photoshop. We'll take the same ones that I'm looking for, which I've got here. Natural Explorers, IMG, Doodads, and it's in food. No. I don't want you to give me your rap flow. Thank you. Let's take a sushi. Whoa, this is eerie. Drum solo! Drum solo! Ooh, that's some bass for you. Let's take this fish PNG, and what we're going to do is change the canvas size like this. Let's go to pixels, and let's give it like double its pixel. We might need to do this again. 96. So all I did was added some extra depth, or extra like empty space below it. That lets me put it down farther. It may need to be 1 pixel more than that actually, but to be safe, we can move it. So to be safe, I'm going to undo that and give it 3 times. It's go to pixels. Oops, I put the wrong thing. Son of a gun. Okay, canvas size, you gotta go like this, so it knows that you want free space at the bottom. Height, we want to go to 144. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is save this as something different, and since I edited it, I'll put it in here. And we're gonna call it Fish Edit as a PNG. Now what we'll do is jump back in the game. Tango! And we'll go into this folder, and it automatically has it. Now we can put it here because it's drawing it closer. It's got a larger, where my mouse is actually, oh, my guy died. That's fun, that's wonderful. I didn't know you could start while in this menu. That's game over. Anyway, I can describe what's happening here. The free space has a higher Y value than the table, so the game thinks it's in front of it. So even though they're on the same layer, it's going to draw it in front of it. So that's how we majigger our way around this. Place that there. Game over! Game over, man! But we had an error because we were like editing doodads in the middle of starving. The player won't have that problem. They won't be able to edit doodads. My food system is getting me killed, man. Are you kidding me? What we could do is just continue to set our food meter maxed out, or disable it, or just do this in a timely manner, right? Let's do 20 logs, 20 stone. That's some sinister music going on. Does this button work? Alright, I can change the music with a button on my keyboard. It's great. Fantastic. I like, what is this software? Foobar. There's some audio software called Foobar, which I highly recommend. It's really good. If you haven't used Foobar before, it's a really good piece of software. Okay, so now we'll hit F10 and place a new doodad. We're going to place the fish edit one, and we'll put it right here, but I'm going to press T to change some settings. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller, let's say 80%. Nope, let's say 75%. And I'm pressing left to make it, we'll say 70%. Yes. That'll work. I'm going to accept these settings and place it right here. But we need to see if the player will walk in front of it, not behind it. I think the player will walk in front of it. I'm almost sure it'll work. I could be wrong though. Let's just test it. No! The player is still the same layer. You know why it's drawing in front of the player is because it's actually down here. So the game thinks the player is behind it. So we got around getting it off of that layer, but then it still puts it on over there. So we have to change the layer. But this is interesting. This is interesting. You starved while looking at a menu? Poor guy. Oh man. He's like, I'll have the I'll have the fish, please. Okay, let's change the layer. Fish edit. It's got to be 4. But then it's going to be behind the sushi bars. And unless I want to draw, I mean, all I really have to do is draw the sprites as doodads and then make the events in front of them. Wow, it's a lot of work to do that. Instead of drawing, we can make it work, but we have to put the sprites on doodad layers and put them below, like level 3 or layer 4, and then so the player will be in front, they'll be behind the things. But I think the best way to get around this, to save my sanity, is just to say there doesn't need to be a fish platter on the thing. But it was an interesting experiment. It's an interesting experiment. Another thing we could try to do is make the doodads have free space below it as well. And then it would work. Why do I have all of these bizarre, like, they're not even very intuitive. It's just like, let's do extra work for some arbitrary reason. Let's do extra work for arbitrary reasons, guys. Okay, image, canvas size. And let's give the height 288. And let's save this as edit 2. Okay. Let's go to doodads, edit our doodads. We have the sushi bar. This is requiring which before I change it. Switch 18B on. So let's change this doodad. Let's delete this doodad. Return, finish edit, place a new doodad in here. We're going to call this edit 2, and we're going to place this where we think it belongs, like so. How did I put it? It was sort of like this. Okay. Now we need to edit this doodad. All doodads. Edit 2, sushi bar. See, it's centering right here. you guys can't see my hands. It's centering right here instead of up here because it's longer. So it thinks we're looking at something right here. Let's change the layer to under the character. Or no, it's 5, right? But that lets me edit 2. This is only going to be here if switch 18 is on. Did I accept my settings? Finish edits. Save and close. It thinks it's right. It thinks it is in front of the player, so the layerings would have to be 4. Man, I'm on a spiral. I'm going down a spiral here. I didn't even change the settings or accept the settings. Okay, switch 18, gotta be on. It gotta be on. And let's go up to accept the settings and return, finish edit, save and close. So now there's that. We would have to edit the fish, all because I want a fish on a table. All because I want a fish on a table. Change position maybe? Change the layer to 5 now. We put this to 5. Accept the settings. Return. Finish edit. Save and close. We've managed to make it worse, guys. We put him on top of the table and the fish still below. No! I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright, well, that doesn't quite work. Well, we learned a little bit, right? About how if you have a higher Y value, the game will automatically layer it in front. So there is that, if it is greater than. It's just not working. You're right. I think we've come to that conclusion. The fish on the table has to go. For now. For now. Bye, Doodad. It was nice knowing you. Also, this one has got to go. It was nice knowing you. We have to go, finish our edits, place a new doodad, and put the first one where it needs to be. Like that. Edit doodads. Alright. And change this to require switch 18. To be on. And escape. Go up to the top. And accept our settings. Return. Finish our edit. And save and close. It works fine. There's just no fish on the table. Trollfish be drifty. No! There's a temporary setback. Yes, trollfish beat me. For now. For now, anyway. Alright. Well, we have stretched the sprites out. This one guy needs to be stretched. This is... Who is this? Erwin Tingson. What was I doing here? Step count 0, party steps, step count 1, step count 2. Oh, I was working on a step counter plugin. That doesn't work. Like all of my plugins. It's great. Not necessarily all of them, but most of them. that I tried. That's why I don't release plugins, guys. Because they break. Like, oh, it works! Yeah, I'm so happy it works! Oh, it doesn't work with this, and this, and this, and this, and then when I do this, it still breaks. Alright, this is just a private plugin. It's a private plugin. It's specific for my game plugin, because it's just not compatible at all. This is the controller event. No fish emojis allowed, Heartless Angel. Maybe when you add a fishing minigame, add the troll fish as an Easter egg. Yeah, it'll be the fish on a plate that you catch. Sure. I don't know how I'm going to do the fishing system. Oh, an idea I had was from Legend of Driftwood was I had a gardening system, but I want to expand on that and put like a little farming garden area right here that the player can start planting their own stuff to get battle goods, like, you know, like you get the apple tree and the orange tree, but you only get those every 3 minutes. So you can like plant different types of food for when you go into your house. This is all conceptual at this point. But I have a system that I even have a tutorial on my farming system. It'll be the similar but better. So you'd come up here and you would like start harvesting, or not harvesting, but like processing the food that you've harvested from growing outside of your house, right here. So I maybe want to start doing that next episode, because it'll probably take entire episode to like work. And if I get started now, I'm going to be frustrated when it's not done in 30 minutes. Do I have any more maps that I need to fix? I mean, these are like 3 high, tall hills. Kind of breaks the 2 high, wide. But that's inside, these are outside. I'm just going to be happy with that. I also don't like how this is like trees, all tree fences. But I'm not good at it. Like, I gotta figure out how. I don't want it to be a fence, right? It's a tree fence. It's selective growing. These were planted by the town. We're gonna say that's the way. My dungeon maps, I made these much later. Dungeon maps are getting better. This little cave is good. I could put some enemies in the caves now and start the dungeon generation. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. We fixed that up. Looks a little better. Oh, we gotta fix this map, right? Let's go and fix this map up. It's not terrible, right? It's not a terrible map. We just gotta give it a little bit of love. It needs a little bit of love. A little bit of loving. This map needs some loving. Yes. Yes, very much yes, so. Yep, we're gonna have to do that. We'll keep the green mossy look. I don't see why not. That looks kind of cool. And it matches with this. So we'll keep that. No idea what's going on with this song. But I'm not totally against it. Let's flood that. There we go. Because that's gonna help me. Whoa. Whoa. Alright, that'll be fine for that. Let's do these corners. Need to also paint bucket fill like this and this. This will have to be a little bit bigger to match. Let's take this other side. Slowly and painfully. And for the ground, this layer, since I'm going to let the player walk on this tile, I have to make it into like this. Like so. Give it one more free tile, because when we go to this layer and we add like this, it has to be like a floor, transparent floor. Wait. Oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. This is going to go up here, actually. And this becomes this. Yes. That way the player can walk there. Like that. This one goes up. That'll work. This needs to be like that. Okay. And then we just put in the corners. There, oops, there, 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 there. Now it has more of a rounder feel. Doesn't look so bad. I mean, the map looked good, but it now became inconsistent with the rest of the map, so I had to make it consistent. Squares look too boxy. A comedy boss? I don't know, maybe. Path of the Stream says, done with my art. Oh my god, it took so much time today. Yeah, you might want to check the version of your project. Did you update your plugins? Have you updated your project? Versions can cause a lot of instability if they don't match. Especially after a certain point. Like from 1.4 to 1.5 is kind of a huge difference. I think this needs to go out one more, or I can bring this wall down like this and give it this. And then this tile can now become that, and this tile now becomes this. And then of course I have to do that. Oops. But I also want to fix this to become that, if it actually works. Yeah. I mean, that kind of looks better. Let me make sure that all the walls are uniform like that. This one will be this though. This one is that instead. That's better. Boom, boom. Player will be able to walk up through here, but it will be kind of like a little passage. There it is. Force yourself to draw 31 days, work more and improve more. That will guaranteed make you better. If you do something every day for a month, definitely gonna get better at it. Even if it's only like 10 minutes a day, you'll get better at it. That's why I do spriting every day, just a little bit. Because I mean, you're going to be in game design, you're either going to pay artists a lot over time, or you're going to get better at it and start doing the smaller things yourself. And then pay for like the big things, like battlers or something. I need to make this wall a little bit bigger. Just take this entire thing up a tile. Okay, this has got to be like that first, and then this tile can go over it. He's shredding. This track is rad. It's a little better. Alright, let's get this to be more uniform. Well, I could draw it right there and then move it over. Yeah, it felt a little, like, too claustrophobic right here. But then we can take this whole thing, move it over a tile. Like that. Dang it. There we go. Excuse me. It still feels too claustrophobic, doesn't it, right here? Unless I move this up and move that out. I think I need to undo something here. Put this back like that. And just get rid of this side. It needs to be different so that it's a smaller piece. Yeah. You know what we could do? We can make it with this style, because there's two styles. So let's delete this. Let's make another one right here. Like this, like this, like this. Actually, we can just take this whole block and put it in. Right. Will this work with this? Is the question. Nah. Does this style have a mossy bottom? Can we get some mossy bottoms here? No. But we can use the top part of this and then the bottom part of the mossy thing, which is fine. So let's go and replace this part with this. Yeah, that works, and it looks a little different. This feels too big over here. I don't really like this top part. let's do something to that. We can make it go up like that twice, but then back down. Like that. I don't know. This player can walk right there. Nah, let's go like this instead. And then just close it. Yeah, I like that better. Now we need to check lighting and find all the parts where the walls look funny. Because we'll find them. Dang it. Okay. Looks a little better. Over here. Alright. Gotta redraw that little stalagmite, right? From the bottom up, stalagmite. From the top down, stalactite. We missing corners anywhere? It looks pretty good. Oh, I see one. Right there. Happy little corner. Yeah. Okay, let's jump in the game and have a look at it and see. That's how you really tell. You run around the world. You'd be like, oh, this looks funny. Nice, Ren. That sounds fantastic. Probably gonna make me some eggs. I have some jalapeno plants, some pepper plants. So I'm gonna chop up a jalapeno and throw that in them. Yeah, man. Okay, I definitely see some issues right here immediately. Man, my jalapeno plants this year are very, very fruitful. Got dozens and dozens of jalapenos on just like 5 plants. I'm the only one who likes them. It's a shame right now. Because they're too hot, and I understand. But if we pickle them, we're probably going to pickle them. Because when we pickle them, they lose some of their heat, but they just gain like a flavor. We're going to pickle them in vinegar. We need apple cider vinegar, white vinegar. Probably just chop them and pickle them. Or we could just put the entire thing in there too. I also have lightning banana peppers growing. They're doing well. But they're in the ground, so the frost is going to come and kill those. I have the jalapenos in pots because I'm going to put them in the basement and keep them over winter. I got to get some better lights because they're big now. They're big girls. They are big girls. Today on Driftwood Cooking, Drifty makes a jalapeno cheese omelet. That's cooking. Let's move this little hump down. My lovely 4 rocky cavern humps. Got them. Check them out. Move this here. This looks very like bump, 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 bump. That looks too... You know what we could do is move this one down too. And then we'll put the torch in the middle. Let's do that instead. Okay, here, here. Here, here! Do-do-do-do-do. doody doody doo. This can go like that. This will be the corner. We'll take this to here and this to here. And this now becomes this. And this now becomes this. And this stone gets moved over here and removed from there. And the torch goes here. Now that looks not so bad. Okay, test number dos. Oh, I see more problems immediately. Right here. No! Yes. Then maybe we'll make this a round one like that. Like so. Wait, yeah, this is also that. Also here, huh? Bang, bang. These thought they were gonna get out. They thought they were gonna make the cut, but they didn't. Okay. Test numero tres. Some very odd shading happening over here. You see it? Bam, bam. I don't know why it wants to shade that, but it tried to. Okay. Test numero cuatro. Yeah, that looks good. Is this one right? Maybe it is. Yeah, that's right. Some of the corners look a little not sure on, but they don't look bad. They look okay. Is this all walkable? It should be. I don't know why we have our character starting like that small. We're not on the world map, so let's start him like this. For the most part, we won't be starting on the world map. Doesn't make much sense. Yeah, this is the way I wanted it to be. The character won't just disappear in the game. You'll be able to see his head popping out. Feels pretty good. Yeah, this leaves a little spot right here to interact with something here. Put something like right here. There it comes up, takes a step on here and interacts with this device, whatever's going on here. Okay, I see a spot here. It's missing some brackets, some corners. Bang, bang. But other than that, I think we've done this map well. Put another pixie in there, yeah, let's do that. We can just copy paste it at this point, huh? We've already made it. Well, sort of a different way of handling it. But what we can do is take these two events, put them right here, and get rid of this torch, huh? So it sticks out more. Copy this. We'll have to change the switch because I think it's being used. Otherwise you get one, they both disappear. Now I wonder if I have to give this a different number. We're going to call this 8. But now I need to number them one after the other. Yep, I'm going to have to change some things. This is going to be Pixie 2, Light 2. And this will be Light Off 2. And this is going to be for switch Pixie Dust 2. And we change the switch Pixie Dust 2 on. We also need to go back to the first one. And instead of using 41 for the event ID, because the event ID will be different on each map, and I need to keep them kind of chronological. So we're going to say this is light 1 with switch 1. That means we'll also need to, instead of 41, we reference this as 1 from here on out. And also switch 1, light 1. I'm going to test this. And the Pixie Dust light goes away. Wait, but was it on from the start? It should have been. I think it was. No, it was not. Okay, so something that's turning the Pixie Dust light 1 on, right here, it needs to be changed as well. Not 41, but 1 instead. And I can take this controller event and use it. Every map can have a controller event anyway. Does it already have one? It does have a controller event, so we'll just paste this inside here. The contents of this. Copy this. Wait, what's going on? What did I do? This is the controller event for this map. I was looking at this map, so I'll put the controller event by the door. Is if Pixie Dust 2 is off, then turn on light 2. This will be light 2. Turn off light 2. Pixie Dust 2 on. This is light 2. Okay. So let's test both of the Pixie Dust events, see if they work. The light is on. You can see the purple glow. The coral confuses it because it's got a blue glow. When we get this, got our Pixie Dust and the light turned off. I saw that. Do I have a connecting event to this? Where does this teleport me? Nowhere. So we're going to do a transfer event. And connect this map. This is the Rocky Caverns map. There's going to be something here. Connect it to for now, I'm going to connect it to here temporarily because I want to see if I turn this pixie off, will it mess up the other one? So we start here. They should be, no, cancel that. They should be independent of one another. Excuse me. So the Pixie Dust doesn't have a light turned on. Why not? What's happening? Oh, it would help if I made this an auto run. Parallel. But then it... auto run, right? Auto run, because it turns on at the beginning and erase. Because you don't want it to just be a parallel with nothing happening but running, because that'll lock up and take resources. So it should just turn on at the beginning and then erase that event. There's the light. There's the purple light from the pixie. Obtained a Pixie Dust. The pixie's still there though. The light just went away. We need to get rid of that. So there was another thing that I missed. What happens here? Page 2. Pixie Dust 2 is on. Then erase it. Is that still set to Pixie 1? I think it is. Condition? Yep, it is. Okay, Pixie Dust 2. And the switch is turning to 2, yeah, okay. So they should be independent. I should be able to collect Pixie 2 and then go collect Pixie 1, and they should both be independent of one another. So, the light is on, the Pixie's there, we collect the Pixie dust, the light goes away, the Pixie goes away. And we go to the other cave. This is not how it's going to work, plus that needs to be transferred in. There's a Pixie there, and we obtain the Pixie dust, the light turns off, and the Pixie goes away. They're independent. I mean, one more thing to test is the opposite order. This is player touch. So what I can do is have the player go here, transfer event. This is a debug, transfer the player to here. Player touch. We're going to delete that event. But we'll start the player here, and we'll test the opposite order to make sure that the second one isn't tied with the first one. We check to see that it works in the opposite order, so this works from the beginning. We obtain it, and the other one should be there, should be a Pixie, and the light should be there, and it works. Okay, so that's how we'll do it. And then this also, since we're using independent switches for each Pixie, we can use those switches in conditional statements to see how many Pixies the players have, and like which ones specifically have they picked up. And things can happen if they picked up a combination of them. But anyway, it opens up the door for more control. I'm going to catch up on the chat before we end the stream. Why would you skip the title screen? Well, sometimes you might want to skip the title screen while you're testing it to save you some trouble of hitting new game. But even if you're not making the game, you may want to skip the title screen because you are adding a custom auto-run event inside of a map that becomes your title screen, you know, what it can actually skip, and then you can force the title screen to load at any point. I see a map bug real quick I need to fix. This works, so I need to remove the teleporter. Excuse me. And the other teleporter. Where should this go to? We need to find a location for this to actually teleport to. Maybe this will teleport us back out of the dungeon. So it'll put us here for now. Like the way out will be face down. This is kind of sinister music. Let's go with something else. No. Interesting. That's fine. What are everyone's thoughts on random battles versus Chrono Trigger or Earthbound actor-based battles? First of all, Chrono Trigger and Earthbound are very different battle systems. So just to clump them together as the same battle system does not make sense. Been going round and round with what I want in my game, but can't come to a decision? Well, you have to pick something, right? You don't want to be like, I want to be Final Fantasy mixed with Zelda, mixed with Shining Force battle system, and then have Mario RPG, but also have elements of, like, you really need to narrow it down quite a bit. So it depends on what kind of game you want to play. What do you feel like playing at this moment? Is it more of like a move around action battle Zelda type of thing? Is it like a very, very strategy-based, turn-based battle system? So Dan Banana, kind of like figure out what you feel like playing and really focus in on that one specific type. Earthbound has a great first person. Chrono Trigger is not first person. We can't find ocremix.org, great music, but I wish they would label like, this has lyrics, this is a lyrical one, because it's distracting. It's distracting lyrics. Cool. I like all of the heavy metal remixes that we hear though, that's really good. It's really awesome stuff. Yeah, if you're going to go first person Earthbound style, that's cool, but you make sure you throw some humor in there. It doesn't have to be actually, but you know. Random encounters. Yeah, not many people like random encounters. That's why I'm not putting them in the game, but there's got to be some kind of way to engage the player to do battles. Sometimes you'll have to force them at some point, so... Most of my battles right now are skippable. You can walk right by the encounters. Chrono Engine, very hard to pull off. Yeah, it's so hard to get. Mog Hunter has an amazing plugin, like Action Battle System Chrono Trigger style, and it's fantastic, but it's very hard to use. And if you try to change into the defaults, you're going to have issues with resolution. The image is not working right. You got to make all your custom art. So just because there's a plugin that does it doesn't mean you can just plug and play that. It's going to look very, very default because you know, you'll have to custom design, especially if you change your resolution, everything. So it's a lot of work trying to do a Chrono Trigger battle system. But it's fantastic if you can pull it off. Yes. Bravely Default had a very interesting battle system. I liked that. Thank you, Silver. Yeah, I mean, this was a pretty good stream so far. I mean, we're going to be calling it right now. I'm just catching up on everybody's chat. We did a good job. We scaled all the sprites. They look okay now. We still need to do, oh no, not all of them. We need to do the doodads right here. Look, this is the problem. Let's look at the issue. So I'm going to stretch this out in Photoshop. Oh, I have to go to the world map and come back for the merchant to be there. So we'll have to stretch this out and mess with the layer a little bit. He can be below the player. So we can change this to 4. I mean, we could kind of fix the layer right now. Edit, all doodads. This doesn't even need to be layer 5. There's nothing behind it, so it could be like that. The only problem with that is if we walk behind it, right? So that could be a problem. Let's save and close. Did I change it though? So if you look on front, that fixed it, right? Of course, we got to resize it. The problem is if you go like this, we'll just stop the player from walking behind it to get out of that. So that's a quick, dirty fix. Stop the player from... Also, it looks funny when we walk to the side of it even. So we'll move it to the right a little bit and stop the player. We're going to move it to the right just a few pixels to get rid of the face in front of the top of the tent, like he's climbing it almost. We can get rid of that illusion. So let's edit doodads, yeah. Move this. Let's change position just a little bit more so that there's no pixels in front. Like that. And block the player from walking behind it as well. So we need to hit escape, but accept settings, return to layer, finish edit, save and close. Now we fixed this part. It doesn't look like he's like walking or climbing up the side of it. We just blocked the player from going back here. And then we fixed it, except we still have to scale. You know, this looks funny, obviously. So we blocked the player from going right here, right here, right here. How did I manage to do that? Like, how did I stop the player from walking through all of this? Situational. Because then we also have, okay, we could do a switch from the start so that it's always on. But, I mean, the quick fix is you just go like same as character event, that's just a blocker. And he won't be able to go right there. And back here. Is that right? Let's test it. From the beginning, this is the problem with it. At the beginning, there's already like, the path has already been blocked by something here. Region restriction. I'm using region restriction. That's what it is. Yes. I was like, what's blocking it? Region. Yanfly's region restriction. So we don't need to use a blocker. We'll just go to 85. Paint the region the same. And the reason why it works, none of this should be passable. The reason why I said it from the beginning is because the player will have to go to the map, the world map before this happens, but I can also negate the requirement for that to be a thing by changing the doodad so that it doesn't require any switch to be on and the traveling merchant is just there. I had that in a specific way so that I can turn it off if I wanted to, but I don't think now it doesn't really need to be a thing because we were starting on the world map at that point. So let's edit the doodads and get the static wagon, and we will change so that the switch 14 it doesn't matter. So we'll turn this NA, doesn't matter. Accept the settings, return to layer, finish our edit, save and close. Now, we can't walk up through here. There's no weird layering issue. Did I delete the... Oh, there's another thing. This event is requiring market open switch beyond, which it no longer needs to be. Okay. So he's just gonna be there. And now that works just like that. But we have to do one more thing in Photoshop. We need to open this one, which I've already edited. But what I want to do is zoom in quite a bit and select this. Let me put on the grid. Need to change my grid to be 48 by 48. Preferences, guides, grids, and slices. Let's say 48 by 48. Subdivisions, I don't know, 4. So we'll take this. Hold on. That would be... Let's create a new layer. I'm trying to get an exact 48 by 48 box for a specific reason. So I've got that box, now I'm going to move this box. Yeah, it's empty. There we go. Now I've got this 48 by 48 box, and I can place him in here and copy this, put it on a new layer, Actually, before I paste it, let's see. I'll take this and resize selection. Can I do that? I'm gonna do a adjustments. I could just stretch it out, but I was seeing if there's a way to specifically put in a number and then stretch it to that number of pixels. I could right click and free transform and just stretch him out to, okay, he's right on these. I can use these cells. All right, so if he's 4 cells, 50% larger, I'll stretch him up 2 cells to this, to that. And then we hit OK. Now he's a bit taller. And it's 48 by 48, so the 48 doesn't need to be changed on the X scale, just the Y scale, 50%. So that goes from 48 to 72. And we can save this as edit to PNG. It's gotta be a PNG. We'll hit OK. And in the game, we're about to start. Out of money? How did that happen? I don't know. Whatever. We'll hit F10. Nope, not F2. F10. We're going to place a doodad. And we're going to use the edit to. We're going to keep the same location, but we're going to put, oh, we have a weird shadowing, don't we? What is up with that shadow? We got to fix that first. That looks terrible. Eraser tool. Let's go down very low. Very low. You know what? We'll do magic eraser tool. Magic eraser, get rid of that. Whoa, hey, you know what? Before that, we're gonna do magic eraser tool. We're gonna use fill tool. Paint bucket. Let's go with the red that I don't think is being used. What's not being used is blue. We're gonna fill this with blue. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. We're going to zoom in. We are going to filter. We're going to use the paint color selector tool to take the regular shadow, and then we are going to meticulously, pixel by pixel, color. It's darkening them. It's making them darker. What if we go to eraser? Because it's a layer of transparency. Is that what's happening? Eyedropper tool, take this color. I'm on the right layer. It's opacity, maybe? Is there a tool to get rid of opacity there? Man, something so simple. So simple. Okay, I have another idea. I got it. We're going to use a selector tool. We're going to use this thing. We're going to go like this. Actually, a little bit farther. We're going to go from here to here to here. And then magic eraser. But now instead of a darker spot, it's a lighter spot. What if we get rid of the entire shadow? I'm gonna have to go with that. That I don't need the shadow at all. Oh, that was 1 pixel too much, wasn't it? Okay, let's go. That. He still has this weird shadow, I think, over here. Try to do something so simple. And it's gotta get meticulous. But you know what? That works fine. That works just fine for me. We save this as edit to PNG. Well, we could call it edit 3 in case I want to use edit 2 for something else. The shadow. Looks weird though, I don't know why I'd ever do that. Anyway, save and close, restart the game. Start. F10. Place doodads. Edit 3. Much better. I actually prefer it without the shadow. Like so. Hit escape. Back. Back. Edit doodads. There's one we need to remove, which is this one. Delete that doodad. Return to layer list. Finish edit. Save and close. Now. Oh, we have to change the layer to 4. Edit doodads. Where is it at? Come on, brain. Here it is. Layer 4. Accept settings. Return to list. Finish edit. Save and close. And we fixed that. No longer an issue. We can't, there's no weird depth problems. It doesn't look like we're climbing the side of it. He's behind the character and the event still works. Okay, we fixed a big issue there. That is done, it is solved. And we are over, we ran late. That's okay, we started a few minutes late. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. We did it. We stretched all the sprites that I've noticed. Luckily, there wasn't a lot of them to do. We stretched most of them with the Untitled Scale Sprite plugin. We did a little bit of mapping. We fixed some shadows on things. We did some lighting adjustments. We added another collectible pixie around. Let me catch up on stream before we end it. Guys, if you want to come hang out with us, we have a Discord channel, chat thingy, several channels actually. We have a Discord server where you can come in and promote all of your stuff, let everybody know what you've been working on. It's really cool, it's chill, there's a lot of good artists, a lot of talented people. There's game designers, there's coders of just several different languages. There's people who use multiple different engines, RPG Maker, Game Maker Studio 2, SRPG Studio, Unity, Unreal, Godot, 001 Game, Visual Novel Maker, Dev, and also various other dev tools. You can find gaming news whenever there's really good Steam sales. I post it on gaming news. If I see something on Good Old Games or Humble Bundle, I put it here. If I come across a new free resource, I'll put it in DevTools. If I'm listening to something that I like and I want to share it, I'll put it in Theme 6 music. If I find something interesting on the internet, I'm like, hey, learn something new. There's chat channels for all kinds of stuff. If you play multiplayer games with people and you need a server to voice chat, you can come on and use the multiplayer chat and multiplayer voice chat. You're free to come in and use the server as like a free voice chat for you guys to like play your multiplayer games on if you need a server. Before, I remember you'd have to pay for a server. Discord has been an amazing boon to my community, to our community here. If you would like to back me on Patreon, that is very, very appreciated. Please consider doing that. That is patreon.com/driftwoodgaming, patreon.com/driftwoodgaming. And there's several different things that you can get for backing me. Help with your project. We can do a first impressions video or live stream on your game, showing off what you have to offer for your game, promoting it if it's about to launch, or helping you bug test it. So that's a Patreon tier that's available. And several other things that you can get through Patreon, like private voice video chat with me to work on your project, a specific bug you've been, I can field questions and hammer out specific bugs. Can't say I'll fix everything, but I have a good research ability and I can find an answer to a lot of questions. So I offer various services, and yeah, if you would just like to support what I do and you don't need any of that, that's also appreciated. It's very great, even at like a very small $3 a month level or something. That's really appreciated. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, I am at Driftwood Gaming on Twitter. I don't live stream on Twitch anymore very often, but I have a Twitch that maybe one day I'll start live streaming on Twitch again. I do most of my live streams, all of my live streams actually, on YouTube now, because it adds to my my watch time, which is very, very helpful. If you're not watching this live and you'd like to catch the next live stream, I'm live streaming every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. Sometimes we start a couple minutes late, sometimes we go over a little bit, but that's fine. It's basically a couple hours a day throughout the week, and then I'm working on my project and playing other various video games, researching. And, I hang out on Discord all day long. T and I, we help people, we talk with people, we curate the channel. We have mods here. It is a family-friendly channel, server. So please, if you do decide to come, keep it PG rated. That's going to do it for the stream, guys. Thank you so much. Bubbly, thanks for making it out. Path of the Stream. Heartless, you guys are awesome. Bye, Drifty, fly free. I don't use doodads, says Path of the Stream. Well, maybe you should. They're pretty awesome. Yeah, Discord is pretty great. Rin says, Drifty, project is looking pretty good. I'm impressed with your progress. Always good to watch you working. Enjoy your jalapeno eggs. Hey, I'm going to do that. Thanks for reminding me. That sounds good right now. I'm salivating. Jalapenos and eggs. I'll put a little bit of cheese in there, a little bit of salt and pepper. Yeah, well, I get that, I tell you what. See you, Heartless. See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Remember to stay awesome. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. We're going to do this map next. Wow, I don't even know where to start with this one. It's a new tile set. Whoa, look at these giant mushrooms. It's awesome. No problem, Draconis. See you guys.